good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Swift Me Live broadcast of the WTRL Team Time Trial number 152. We are out on the UCI Richmond World's Reverse, 32.6 kilometers or 20.3 miles in the America standard of things. And it's going to be solo Nathan broadcast out here today. Dave actually had to catch a flight that we had forgotten about, to be honest. He had to take off a little bit early with the time changes here. So, chat, you're going to have to keep us really interested out here today, or at least my voice will have to just keep on going in order to keep us super interested out here today. But the TTT is on, and the men have gotten, the open race has gotten out on course. The ladies will be taking off in 27 and 50 seconds exactly from right now. And we've got a couple of featured teams out here as well. We'll be jumping in with Sisu for a little bit again this week. But on the women's side of things, they now have launched their own women's team. And the famous Anna Russell actually is racing with them out there today. We'll also be jumping in with PTZ a little bit. We're going across all the categories as best as we possibly can. I'm going to go ahead and open up chat and see who's hanging out with us. So far, we will be able to bring in your questions, comments, as well as your jokes, as they always are. Plenty throughout here. Good to see Montini hanging out, as well as his. No, I'm not speaking Spanish out here today, but it looks like we have plenty of Spanish-speaking viewers. It looks like jumping in with us, which I do appreciate you all hanging out with us. I'm going to have to do a little bit more Duolingo than I am currently. To keep up with all of you. But let's go ahead and jump right on down into the action, as it looks like we are jumping in with Team SZ from the get-go here. Let's take a look at our course records as well, what they have been for the UCI Richmond Reverse. This is a very difficult course, in my opinion, when it comes to team time trialing. Not a flat course. It is definitely a hilly one for you out there today. You're going to be hitting the reverse 23rd Street right from the get-go, followed up quickly by the reverse of Libby Hill. And then there is the climb that is on the opposite side of Governor's Street climb. That is usually the finale if you're going forward, but instead a steady grind back up to the flat sections of the UCI Richmond Reverse. And then it is flat through the cobbles and the sprint section out there and right on into the finish line. So good to see Leroy Jenkins. Hope that you and the Whelps are doing okay off in the Worlds of Warcraft there. And he's letting us know that the mutants are going to be a force to be reckoned with out here. Jenkins, I do want to know exactly how you survived that ordeal with the Whelps. If those do not have any idea what I'm talking about, make sure to go and search Leroy Jenkins. You might not find it too hilarious, though, actually, if you don't know exactly what is going on with that meme or even that that video. Leroy, as I'm seeing, this is actually Matthew Paulson. Yes, mutant squads today ready to cause some more damage. Are you actually hanging out with Leroy? That'd be my question. And if you're in with him, and how you survived your raid out there, Matthew, if you were there for it. Crucial Translate Borinkino is jumping in with us as well. I don't know. That's a lot of time consumption, though, but I appreciate the comments coming in. All right, let's take a quick look here at what our current course records are. Very old school records, I think, here coming in, at least from Sockschwatt's WRT. We'll see if the ladies can challenge that out there today for the Vienna Espresso, but I have a feeling that has been set well over a year standing at this point. HB Racing Venom with the 48 there out of Vienna Frappe, as you can see. HB Racing Stingers, Dirty Rascals Rise, Toyota Cryo RDT from the Dopios there. Dirty Rascals Ride, I have a feeling that was set somewhere in the last year. Innovation Alien Express as well with a solid time. Vikings Valhalla and TFC Hurricane. I think some of those are going to be a little bit closer to home when it comes to the times set out here. The current standing times as we get out here, that these riders that are jumping out, most likely not only in Platinum League, but also jumping into the later zones as Zone 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, all go out around this same time of day as well. It does look like the Cheese Rollers are holding it down from Zone 5 in the Vienna Espresso right now. Again, NZ Bro with the Pavlovas there. Now at the top from zone 5 as well. It looks like zone 1 with the Ghost Chups at 52.54 for Vienna. I don't know if that's going to get beat. That's a screaming time for a latte crew. Well played there. Well, I'm wondering, I mean, that with how fast that is, we'll have to wait and see if that stands and stays there. But then it's going to be in the Viennas there, 57.38, as you can see, out of zone 1. All NZ bro, they're showing up at this time of year. And I'm not surprised as it does get colder down in the southern hemisphere, perhaps. We will see a lot of Australian as well as New Zealand and others from the southern hemisphere taking down some of the faster times as they head into their indoor season. Now standing on the men's side of things, looks like Cyrus No Pins showed now 41.52. Real quickly here, 41.50 is we're looking at only 12 seconds off from the course record here from the Cyrus No Pins, actually, that was set by Toyota Cryo RDT all time. And they had only 5 with them. I'm assuming most likely that Toyota Cryo RDT had quite a few more riders with them through 12 seconds. Nice job to Cyrus No Pins today for holding it down at this point. So that's what you're looking to beat out there today if you are out here challenging in the Dopios or even the Espressos. A lot of times the Espressos times are close, but it's going to be Dirt Diggler at the top with Eat Dirt 007 coming out of zone 3, holding it down before we get into the Platinum League times. Current fastest times. Zed Sun Saturn 45.47 out of zone 3. Currently holding it down. Some new NZ Bro teams, or at least one Snag Sizzle. Never heard of Snag Sizzle. Is that I want to know what Snag Sizzle is. Or is that just like some fun with words there? Is there actually, I mean, I don't put it past anyone in New Zealand for having some sort, I mean, they have chups as like some sort of a food. So is the Snag Sizzle also some sort of a food? Because that's what we're all about here. I mean, mutton burns, as you can see here, as well as the DB drafters, drink and food. At the top there for the lattes, and then in with the mochas right now, the times to beat 57.32 coming from the Dirt team, Eat Dirt Twas. So that's the situation as it stands out here today. The time splits as they do come in are going to be currently at, well, not currently, but will be at 8 kilometers, 16 kilometers, and 24 kilometers. Let's go ahead and head on over and see if we've got any times coming on in just as of yet. Mutant X are throwing down, it looks like, out on course with 8 riders in the Doppio. And, you know, perhaps we should go ahead and take a look at who is the Mutant X team. They've been showing up weekend and week in and week out, it seems like, and jumping in with the broadcast. So maybe a little bit of reward there for them as they are kind of the new kids on the block. I'm not sure if they're really going to appreciate me calling them the new kids on the block, actually. But we'll see if we can get some information about this new team as they showed up coming out of the woodwork. We got Ryan here, though. Before we head on over there, let's take a look and see how SD weld this back together here. It's going to be the Swedish Swifters, the ones who kicked off all of the, well, they didn't really kick it off. Leah Thorvaldsen really is the one who kicked things off when it comes to food and the broadcast, to be honest. But they went ahead and sent the food on over. They put their money or food where their mouth is, because that's where you're supposed to be putting it, but on to the mailbox and sent it on over. So appreciate to them for getting us going on to this trend as SC do bring it back together here. As Ryan goes back, this guy just wants to give it a go, though, it looks like. He goes back into the fold and then right back to the front as he waited up for him there. A little bit of overlapping here. Not sure he's able to keep things under control on that Scott Addict. And interesting wheel set selection as well from everybody else. I'm down with Ryan here. I'm not sure I'm down with the rest of the sickness with these guys, as it looks like the wheel sets for me are not what I would be choosing. Ryan's going to get a lot of advantage actually here as he bumps it up to 306 watts on this flat section of the course. He does have the DT Swiss full dish as well as on that Scott. No times just in as of yet across the board, but it does look like in with the Doppio, Sisu Racing Pumpo, it's going to be Cryogen Gulls, and Tutti Frutti there will be the first ones to go out. The fastest coming in is going to be this Schmerzfrei Espresso in with the men's side of things, or open side of things, they have been the fastest of the fast as of lately in the Platinum League. His Espresso, that is the team, as well as PTZ Aquilbra. We're going to try and jump in a crossover to them as well in the Espressos, because they have been newer teams showing up to the fold of the Platinum League, and they've been really setting some crazy fast times, as you can see, as they go out 5th and 6th on the day, which means they are the 3rd and 4th fastest riders on the day here, jumping into the Espresso. So in with the Canadian, it's going to be Sean. He's number 2. Meek is there as well as Tim. The Megas. Who are the Mega? I gotta know who these guys are. I like this name. It makes me think of Mega Man. And we're gonna go across. This is gonna be the Dirt Time Chasers Megas. They've got a 12:39 right now at the 8K mark. They were the second to go out, which they have brought back 30 seconds already to that Team SZ. What is going on with the kit though? Why are we wearing the Mert kit, boys? Like, I don't know if you got the memo, or if this is like, but this is actually going to be a mixed team, interesting enough. So maybe that's why. Cool to see, as I believe this is going to be Svenja, as I do definitely recognize and try and let everybody know this is a mixed category, and it's always good to see the ladies mixing it up with the boys. Here's it's going to be Svenja Steller. Here she's got this is one of our most committed TTTers, actually. Great to see. Svenja Steller for the Dirt Mert team, level 50 Zwifter out of Germany, and has 111 as of today. This is her 111th team time trial. She's the most experienced team time trial, actually, on the entirety of the Megas. She is the Mega of the Megas here out of Germany, and currently setting the second fastest time up against the ODZ Destroyer of Cookies after that 8K mark. So kudos to her. And what's really cool is it's amongst some newer TT tiers, as Orzen Alkvik on this team. Riding, is that going to be Bob? That's the name that I think he's putting in game. I think it's going to be Bob, because that does definitely seem like a Norwegian name. Is this going to be his 4th? So what a huge discrepancy here between Steller and Akvik with the number of TTTs. And that's one of the cool things that we do see about the team time trial and what it does foster here in the world of Zwift. The camaraderie and team building exercise that it definitely is. It looks like the Megas here holding down still for second as WLBB Latte come on through at that 13:42. It's only 5 seconds for the Megas, though, to take down the first place spot currently. But there's plenty of strong teams still waiting, chomping at the bit to come on through here. I mean, Woolly Rhinos and the Alpentraudler have been so unstoppable as of recently. So they've got a huge task up ahead of them. We'll see if the punchy climbs mixed with the flats of Richmond UCI Reverse are going to be in the Mega's favor. Bob needs to get back on terms, though. This rider, I believe, Orjan, if I'm not incorrect, is struggling just a tad at this point. We'll see if he's able to bring things back into the fold. There he goes. And that's the... if you don't know the tactic there that he is using, it's the drop just a little bit and then get back on terms as quickly as you possibly can without interrupting the rest of your team, as a lot of times that can be an issue if you do get in the mix of them all. If you're not familiar with that, there's definitely a technique. It's called sink and sprint, and if you get in the way of some of your riders there, you see that straight line? They're doing a great job of holding that straight line. Look at the rider on the right there, falling backwards, not mixing himself into the middle of the rest of those riders there, and then just jump right back onto the back of that last wheel, because you will push the other rider next to you off of the wheel, and it's all about what kind of watts you put out in watts per kilogram in comparison of the rest of your teammates there. Don't want to mix it up. Don't want to cause their rest to be interrupted. The moment you kick them off the wheel, they are not getting the rest that they're looking for to be the next up. And as they go to be on deck, you've just used up the power they could be using at the front of the pack. So, Bowser Bikes, there's no Dave today. I do see, I know I'm not on screen, but it is solo Nathan today, Bowser, but it's good to see you hanging out in the chat. Matthew Gardner, good luck. It is a hard course. Matthew, I'd like to know how it felt today. Let me know. Actually, Matthew, one of these days, and even right now, if you want to throw a link, I want to know what you guys did this morning to set that crazy time. 12 seconds off the fastest of all time. Absolutely amazing. And Leroy Jenkins says, I love how you know the joke. 10-10% to Leroy. How do you not know the joke? And if you haven't seen that video of of Leroy Jenkins, it's essentially how you should take on any Zwift race, but maybe not the TTT, as completely can mess things up if you go Leroy Jenkins on a team time trial. As I do get completely distracted here at this point from the actual images that we need to be pulling here, as we should head on over to Mutant and see what they're up to. I do want to jump in with the Espressos. The Espresso and the Doppio have not gotten a whole lot of attention the last couple of weeks, and we definitely want to go across to them as best we possibly can. So Sisu Racing, as well as a few others, are going to help us to get across there. I think we're going to jump first in with Jean Lennox, if I can find, or Joshua. Is it Joshua Lennox, actually? Excuse me. Yeah, it is going to be Joshua Lennox for Sisu. That is going to help us get across, perhaps. We'll see if that ends up working. Nope, looks like we're hanging out with WLBB today still, so I guess we're going to stay here for a little while, everybody, as we wait for that to fix. But Vikings Valhalla here, 12:23 right now, battering Megas, who were holding it down there, as well as ATP Racing Nitrogen coming on through. They were the, I want to say, third fastest out there coming into the day, third or fourth fastest coming out there today. We'll see if they can hold on. But Viking Valhalla, as they usually do, battling with the Woolly Rhiners and Appentrotter there at the top. And as we wait for the next times to come on in, we'll see what that will be. Matthew Gardner saying we are down to 4. So Gardner here, loving the conversation, because if you haven't checked out what Cyrus No Pins has done over on the socials, they do a really good job of kind of giving you an game or in team car view of what is going on with their situation as they go through their team time trial, or even in the midst of their races. I did see you guys had a crazy race the other morning where you went 1, 2, 3 in the, I believe it was the morning grind, if I'm not incorrect. Quite the breakaway situation it looked like. And now jumping in the TTT and taking this down perhaps today, down to 4 riders at 8 minutes. We basically tried to drop each other the whole time. Thank goodness we didn't. I mean, that's an interesting tactic. I mean, you just basically just go to the front and see if you can drop your teammates and force them to do the fastest they possibly can across the entirety of the course. I mean, that does seem like quite the sounds like quite the tactic if it works out in your favor. If it doesn't, it's going to be lights out to your team time trial, but it sounds like it worked for you guys out there today, setting the time that you did. Jumping in with WLBB as we look to try and get across to the other categories here, as we are struggling just a tad here, guys, to get across. And then we'll see if we can, though. It looks like we're getting a little bit of help from HISP. This is going to be in with not the category I was actually looking for, but at least we jumped across to, looks like, the Mochas. All right, looks like we're highlighting the Mochas. As we jump in with HISP here, this is going to be one of the new PTZ teams that have gotten into the Platinum League, and we want to definitely appreciate them sending across all the information that they did. Actually, maybe this was a little bit of fortune by accident here, because they were one of the teams that did send across some great information here. 1510 currently at the 8-kilometer marker. And as we get across to this team here, just want to say a big thanks for what they sent across for the info here. It's going to be Fernandez here, Vitus, Giulio also in the UK, Paveda here, Figueredo here from Tugas, then trying to chase them down 24 seconds back. And it looks like there's quite the battle between these two throwing down. as they were first and second to go out. The Sumatran Rhinos there. Swedish Swift Racers, the D, going out last out there today. I have a feeling they are a no-show. So there's a little bit of a window opened up here in the Mochas. We'll go ahead and go through the current time checks between all of these riders here, and then we'll head across over to the Expresses if we can find them. RR Sumatran Rhinos currently throwing down to 14-12. 2 seconds back, Adam Racing Team Krypton. It's going to be TFC Hurricane as we look at them on course right now, looking to chase down the Two Guys team. As Hurricane come on through 14-18. We'll see if the second lap favors them a little bit, as I have a feeling that the Hurricane were holding back a tad to get a negative split. A lot of times they do come on stronger in the back end of the race. Swedish Swift Racers actually are out on course, excuse me. They were the last one to go out, and they are at 14:30, so struggling, though. Not going to maybe hold on to their crazy fast, fastest for Platinum last week, as they were the last ones to go out, means they came in as the team to beat. Deep Type 1 Gluconauts with the 14:55. Pamphilo there holding down almost at 15. His Mocha there, 15:10. It's going to be Zedsun Nebula, 15:27. Not sure Trek Dodo then, or Dadu are out there with the Watt Bros, JZQC, because they were supposed to go out 6. They would have been mixed in to the middle of all of this if they were. But this is going to be Hurricane that we're in with Gifford. It's going to be Harrison, Cruz, Ferris, actually from Zedsun. That was off the back here of this, just a tag, so excuse me on that. Barocco is here as well from Two Guys at the back of this Portuguese team. Loving the Two Guys kit actually in game. I'm wondering why one of the riders doesn't have the kit on. There's actually 2 riders. I wonder if they're guest riders perhaps. But and actually this is one of the first times I've noticed that Two Guys threw a kit into game. So cool to see. Very cool. I liken the almost kind of minimalist situation here too with the kit. Very slick looking kit as they look to make their second round around this world of the UCI Richmond reverse. We're going to see if we can get across. This is going to be, man, we're hitting every category with our selections here, except for the one that I'm trying to get into. we're as we push the buttons just seem to want to throw us into every category except for the one that I'm aiming at. So I guess we're just going to cover across where things are at the 8 and 16 kilometer marker for whichever category with every single one of them. Maybe the tools are saying, look, you need to cover every category, and let's start with the C's and the lattes, the mochas, and then let's head right on over to the frappes. And so as we jump in with WLBB frappe, they were the first ones to jump out. They were at 11:42, quite a bit slower there than the Smurfs frappe at 11:19, but they were the first ones to come through at that 16 kilometer marker. 11:42, they weren't doing too bad. They were tied up for 4th with the Garage Pain Chasers. Garage Pain Chasers coming through with the 22:29, though, as they went through the flatter sections of the course. Looks like they've got a little bit more raw wattage to throw down, or at least some faster speed out there up against the WLBB, as the WLBB frappe come over the top of the reverse, 23rd Street. A little bit of a gap with Moritz there. Robert, Tristan, Michael, Peter, Philip, Volker as well. And it's going to be Marlon just getting by. They've got, it looks like, all 8 riders, though. This is going to favor them in the back end of the course, though. If they can keep this together, going to get some rolling speed onto the downhills. 44 seconds back, the chasing. This is the Garage Pain Chasers. Trying to chase WLBB for currently the fastest time at the 16 kilometer marker, but that most likely is going to be upset on the apple cart just a tad with the Vikings. Jor Mungadar and Schmersfrey chasing them, and there it is. No, we're not going to head on over to the Vienna Platinum for this Swift, but our other one will, as they are in. It is 4:16 to the start of that. That was just a quick little reminder for us, everybody. We will be jumping over to the ladies race. We'll do some side by side, actually, as we do get into that race in just a moment. Well, it looks like we're going to just throw a black screen up for you for a second for some reason. For some reason, it didn't want to give us the ladies race there for a second, but we'll jump across over to the ladies race here in just a few minutes and show you what's happening. We can at least give you an idea in a minute. It's going to be 3:36 to the start of their race, and we'll be in with them, and I have a feeling it's going to be very different races of usual because we do have some new blood in and amongst them, and I'm wondering if the Anna Russell factor jumping in with the Sisu team, the newly launched women's Sisu team, is going to have any kind of impact on the top end of some of those results boards, or if it's not going to be a factor. You still need the pure wattage, but I think having Russell out there with you might give a little bit of extra motivation to the riders, as well as maybe some whiteboard tactics. Let's hear your predictions in chat. Do you think where is the new Sisu women's team going to end up on the day? That's going to be my question. Do you think it's going to have any kind of impact? Will the Anna Russell factor really change things up, or is it going to be business as usual with Sisu and the likes at the top of the leaderboard in that women's race? It'll be interesting to see. As you can see here, there's this current situation as the ladies got 2:24 to go. That banner will drop. If you're unfamiliar with the TTT and the way it goes, I'm actually going to show this, how they all, it's always amazes me that they all hang out and sit in the pens like boys and girls and don't go anywhere each and every time. And it just amazes me that the reality of the team time trial worked out the way that it did, with people being so obedient to not taking off. I actually would want to know, like, was it an easy task for, I actually do have Martin here, and I'd love to ask him, like, how hard was it to get people to sit still? For sure. A little bit of a talking point coming on through here. Loving this from Martin over at WTRL. He's letting us know Jeff Hinz has done the most WRL TTTs at 237 team time trials. Now remember, we are at number 152. Steve Milliken has done 149 unique weeks of the TTT, just missed 3. The Christmas and New Year ones, he believes, of Bologna and the Alp. Those are good ones to miss if I'm totally honest. June 2020 for cryo would be the old draft dynamics, though. So just so everybody knows, which seem to be faster on some courses than others. Not all courses, it sounds like, but some courses than other courses. It does seem to be a little bit faster with the old draft dynamics. So very difficult to take down. But that is the June 2020 time that we showed earlier when it comes to these course records. Just a little reminder of what we are talking about. So it would be that cryo time, only 12 seconds faster than Saris. Saris ended up with 4 riders across the line. I have a feeling Cryo DT, again, had a few more than that. So with only 12 seconds difference, great job out there to Saris, what they were able to pull off. 30 seconds to the start of the ladies' race, and then we'll watch them all sit in the pens and not move for a moment. It's always fun to see the discipline of the riders, and then we'll see. I kind of want to see what it looks like for them to take off as well, though. I'm actually going to see if I can find Anna Russell and the likes of that Sisu team right from the get-go here to get an idea of how they are taking this on. Rave is out here, electricspirit.co. Galaxy is here as well. So very much a stacked field. Jumping across over, I think we're jumping in. This is going to be, again, the lattes. You do see a little bit of a jump there from one of the TFC riders. Interesting. We'll see if they end up... I don't think they're across the line, though. There's kind of like an invisible line, actually, that is... not there. You don't see it, but unless you cross that, you're not going to get into any kind of trouble for that. This is in the frappes. We're in with B2B. Interesting, as I click in here across our tools, we're going to people that I actually haven't even clicked on. So that's interesting, but I do think, and now I might have been wrong about, I thought it was going to be with the Vienna Espressos, but it looks like the new Sisu team is racing out of the frappe category. So, Russell here, I do want to see if we can catch one of the teams taking off though from the get-go to get an idea of like what kind of a pace these riders set right from the start of the race here. We'll see if we can get a quick look here. And it looks like, is it going to be Coalition the first ones to go? No, maybe a little bit of a false start there from Coalition for just a second as we wait for that 1 minute marker. And you do see, I like how the avatars are like kind of doing this little like on off, jumping on off real quickly here as they look to kind of get set. Look, so foot down, foot back up, foot. It's just like in real life, actually, where the foot down, the foot back on, the foot down, the foot back on. As the tension rises, is it going to be our turn to go? Who can relate to this situation? It probably feels like that in the pens for a lot of you too, as your heart rates start to rise and your DS is counting down at this moment, like it, set, and boom, go. And a lot of times it's orange numbers right from the get-go. I'm not seeing, this is interesting. We're 2 minutes out and I haven't seen any of these avatars take off. Are there a lot of no-shows, I wonder, at the front end of this women's category? Perhaps in this frappe crew, as we're waiting here. It's really interesting to me that I would have expected plenty already to have been taken out. 2 minutes, at least 2 teams, which should be up to 16 riders at this point. So we should be at the almost 3 minutes out marker in just a moment here, and should get one team, I would expect, to start taking off from here. And as we wait, I do definitely want to show, in each one of these teams, if you're unfamiliar with this, they have a start time. They have a DS or at least a communication going on about when they are supposed to take off. It is in 1 minute intervals, and we just hit the 3 minute marker and nobody. All right, well, we're going to go back to the men's race because, interesting enough, we're not getting anybody really taken off here at this point. So definitely we'll wait for the next team to take off and head back on over there. But it looks like maybe a lot of teams for no-show in with the ladies' side of things there. And now we do get, of course, as we head away, we do get one rider taking off, it looks like, early because it's not actually on the on the minute. So maybe just a lot of confusion across over there. So back in with the Dirty Rips. Is that going to be right? Dirty RIPs on the men's side of things as we're in with the frappe crew for the men. Let's go ahead and take some more looks at these time splits. And 21:57 Smurfs Frappe doing what they do best. It seems like they were the fastest team coming on in, as they were 8th to take off from. Oh, excuse me. No, Vikings were the fastest team to come in as they went out last. Where's number 9? Number 9, maybe a no-show here. So good on Vikings, but it looks like Smurfs Frappe are going to be setting the fastest time at that 16-kilometer marker. Nice job. And see if we can find them out here. And there they are. This is your fastest team so far. All German. Abraham, Simhoff, Seisman. It's going to be Paul, Pien, and Holstein. It looks like they have dropped one of the riders, Rainer, now at a steady 2.6 watts per kilogram. So he's done his work. But Abraham here on a slick setup that is one of the fastest setups that you will find in game, with the Cervelo S5 and the DT Swiss wheels. Lots of Tron selection here, it looks like, across. Some of the updates in Zwift, though, have made it so a lot of bikes are of the same speed. Always keep track of the updates for the game and what they do with these dynamics for the bikes, though. Over at Zwift Insider, they do speed tests and updates on them consistently. Was having a little chat, actually, with Eric from Zwift Insider today about that. And definitely keep an eye on Zwift Insider. There might be some interesting revelations coming our way soon enough, actually. So, what's going on here? What's the no half sends here? With Matthew Gardner's letting us know no half sends when it comes to the way that his team is riding. It's just full send and drop the team or not over at SARS No Pens. Let's go, Electric Spirit. Ladies coming in from Katie L. And, Electric Spirit, that was one of our picks. And great to see you hanging out in chat as one of the breakthrough teams this past Zwift Racing League season. Speaking of Zwift Racing League season, make sure to sign up. Obviously, we kick off on April 5th. And I am absolutely amazed, everybody, at the amount of recruitment and people looking for teams. I mean, I went into the WTRL Zwift Racing League Facebook group, and I was scrolling through and was like blown away. And I mean, it's a little bit spammy, but I mean, my head and heart didn't say this is spammy. It said, wow, look at how big this is, that there's this many teams recruiting, this many teams promoting their team, this many mini communities within the Zwift world. And it kind of made me go, this is so awesome, actually, at that moment. Looking forward to season 3 to see how much hype there is. I mean, and even coming in, I mean, if we're just honest, we're coming into spring. It's warm outside right now. I went out for an outside bike ride yesterday, and yet the Zwift Racing League still in full force, still going in with awesome recruitment, and these teams building up their community and culture to go out there and hammer together on a weekly basis. And I think it's just becoming a great addition to everybody's training and cycling regimen for their lives, rather than just something that you do in the winters, which I absolutely love to see how much enjoyment everybody's getting out of that, and the competition and camaraderie. Now at the top, though, speaking of competition and camaraderie from Pain Caves, it is the Garage Pain Chasers here at 3356. I want proof, Garage Pain Chasers. GPC, is it like a requirement that each and every one of you are in a garage? Or, I mean, because you might not be true to GPC if you don't post a photo on your Instagram or wherever that may be of you actually in a garage. Is it cheating to be on this team if you're not in a garage? I got to know. Are there extra watts from the garage? GPC, this is the question of the ages for me now at this point. Or is this just a fake name? And fake news is what I've got to know here as well here. Now, Smurs, though, they're actually dropping, it looks like, a few of the riders as Seisman really hammering. This is going to be one of the crux points of the race, actually. This reverse of the Governor Street climb is the longest section of uphill grind out on the reverse UCI. It is where you can gain the most time, and he's doing the right thing in some respects. If he can get the rest of the team to pull the full send, no half send, that Cyrus No Pins we're talking about in chat, doesn't look like it's going to be happening here. And unless they bump it up just a tad to grab back onto the wheels and not have to slow down at the front, it will be a waste of Seisman's effort. Now, if they can get across, though, and keep the speeds high enough, it does look like Paul's going to do the work here, drag the rest of the team across here for this Frappe team. Solid move here, it looks like, from them. And I think they're going to do it and not waste the effort here from Seisman. He is going to back off just a tad. He was up in that 5 watts per kilogram, but I think Smurfs are putting on a clinic out here today. Quite the TTT from them, and I think they're going to hold on to this top spot. It'd be hard to see if anybody is going to be able to challenge the kind of times that they are setting, because it was Dirty Rascals Rip Snorters there, 23:06, 35:16, a little ways back. I think they were actually even caught. Perhaps by Schmerz. No, or maybe not. Maybe they're just a little ways up, and I clicked across to go back, actually. As here, this is going to be the Rips. Now, trying to hold off the TFC, actually. GPC dropping some riders, it looks like. What's the kit that GPC is using? This is going to be a dark blue. They're using it's a Danish bike riders kit. Obviously, look at all the Danish flags. Dud, Nathan. Another minimalist type selection here. Pretty good across the board when it comes to the bike selection as well. A little bit off for a couple of them, a Tron and something else, but the S Works, obviously. Venge with the deep dish. Perhaps a couple of riders not feeling as confident on the climbs and wanted to make sure that they can make it up and over the top. As Elvius Bryson, going to be Skovsberg, Jan Hansen, and Ballstrom, the riders that are left for this GPC team riding forward. I didn't actually realize that they were in with the Danish bike riders, the DBR, one of the longest standing, as well as a great community organizer, to be honest, when it comes to events in the community. So great to see them having a good ride out here and currently holding down a very respectable time. We'll see if they're able to hold on to that though. Definitely I'm going to see if we can still get across over to the espressos, everybody. Again, I don't know if you've noticed the last couple of weeks, we have struggled just a tad. We are giving some feedback as quickly as possible over to Zwift on that, as far as being able to get across the categories as best as we can, so that we can get all of the coverage that we need to for all of the racers out here. And we're going to be hanging out with, looks like, here we go, Bramwell. There we go. In with the HDR team as they are going to help us get across to the end of the espresso categories racing. This is going to be Sisu, I believe, just coming in for their finish. We're going to have to back things up here so that we don't end up out of the race here in just a moment. But great on Sisu as they just come across the line there. We'll see what kind of times that they were able to pull off. As it looks like Sisu Racing, we're at a 32.59. We'll see if they were able to hold on to that 6th place overall. SZ just about to cross the line as well. This team's in with Tutti Frutti. Wow, Tutti Frutti a little ways down the board. That's interesting to see. Not something that you would usually expect from the SC team, as Tutti Frutti tend to be a little bit higher up on the pecking order here. HDR now, they're holding down solid with the Cheesecake Crew at 32.01. Currently the 3rd fastest time, only 1 second off of the Zetas. What a crew out here we have today. Now, I did mention earlier it is going to be Team PTZ. I got a little bit of information on them. I know it's been, they've been out on course probably just waiting for all this information. But Felipe Matos out here, he's an ambassador for Hammer Nutrition. He's a mountain bike athlete out of Portugal. It's going to be Carlos Figueira is here as well for that PTZ crew. It looks like a little bit of separation for them, though, as they dropped a few of the riders off, it looks like. Jaho Ferreira is out here as well as Cristiano Sousa. Rugererio is here, ex-professional cyclist, currently still racing on official events. Portuguese national champion of the track discipline, actually, from that rider. So PTZ really showing up with a solid crew, actually. A little bit of separation, though. They got to bring this all back together. Here's going to be Carlos now at 6.5 watts per kilogram on the front now. 186 beats per minute for this final kick to the line. They were at a 31.58, 4th fastest time. Actually, no, 2nd fastest time, excuse me. It's just we have a couple of finishers up there. So they may be able to hold on to this, maybe even for the win in the espresso ahead of Smurs Freight Espresso. And that would be a huge accomplishment, as they have been dominating as of recently. They still have 4 riders as Sousa just looks to try and hold on. It says that he was collected. He's the watch machine in real life. He was collected for the team, so recruited to bring in those watts from in real life for this PTZ team. Great to see. I'll try and give you guys some more information about this awesome team as they come across the line here. We also have, what's going on here? We've got like a mixture of riders, but this HISP team here with Marmajo and a few others. Rider coming in actually from Movistar, it looks like. I wonder if that's the Movistar esports team or if that's just going to be in real life Movistar team. Zeta's here. They were holding down, it looks like the 3rd fastest time. They were battling it with the HDR Cheesecake. We'll see if they can hold on, as the Cheesecake crew just came on through and finished up. 2.6 kilometers to go, and a little less than that perhaps for the Zetas. That team we just saw, though, with the PTZ, with Andre Mataro. He's a chef, actually, and one of the best cyclists for the team. Usually races in Portugal, all types of events. Sounds like mainly TTs in real life. He loves to help on the TTT on flat routes. I love lots of adjectives, lots of descriptive words coming in from the PTZ crew. Loving it. And then we also have Vitor Gavea, ex-professional football, soccer, so not American football, but European. After he left football, decided to go into what they call cycling. Is racing for national competition since then, it sounds like. Jumped on Zwift for the PTZ team and got the old man motivated, as they put it. Great to see. He's 46 years old, it sounds like, and loves to race for this PTZ team. And the Zeta's currently battling with that PTZ team, as we do see Rocco here for the Dirt Time Chasers. Excuse me. Yeah, Dirt Time Chasers, Zetas. Is that going to be a Slovenian flag with Izkak? The Squirrel. 4 of them left. Val is here as well. And Rocco rotating through at 188 beats per minute, just crossing the line. Great job to the Zetas as they come on through. Smurfsvey looking to make their defense. Nice job as they do just come on through. I think they did a pretty good job on that. We'll start to get the results in. We're able to go across all the categories pretty well. I hope everybody was happy with that did jump in. If we missed your team, we apologize on that. We will get more coverage for you next week, as we always do. And make sure to head on over to WTRL.racing, as well as check your emails anytime that you do get into the Platinum League, to make sure that you get an opportunity for the highlights, as we do try to highlight anybody that does put the effort in to send across the information. Coalition jumping out here. If you didn't see in the playoffs, this was the team to beat. Had an amazing ride. Maybe not exactly this group of riders but within the brand of Coalition, had an amazing ride. And we do have a ZRL champion, actually, it looks like, with Borowick, as you do see her helmet in game. So obviously they know what's up. And that is quite the item to be donning in game. When it comes to fashion police, I'm not sure there's better fashion to be wearing than that ZRL helmet. This Borowick, coming out of Poland, took her pole at the front just a moment ago at 170 beats per minute. 199 watts, backing off just a tad. It looks like they've got 6 riders left as they make their way over their first time on the reverse of Governor Street. 8.3 kilometers in, 13:29 down of racing for the ladies so far. And Connor Macbeth, what about the ladies? Well, there they are. They're hanging out on the screen right now as the boys just finished up. I don't know if chat recognizes how much of a virtue patience is. I appreciate you guys. Just kidding. All right. Corey Lee actually hanging out in chat. Good to see Corey Lee, one of the top racers from WLC. Appreciate you hanging out over at the Twitch chat, saying that, as we were saying just a moment ago, the start is always the scariest. I want to know why, actually. And Corley, it'd be great to actually have an interview on you out here. Sometimes get scared that everything disconnects, and that would be obviously the worst of the worst. Or also just that, like, because you're not pedaling, sometimes I get this feeling that because you're not pedaling and producing watts, that are producing actual speed, and so like it's not like currently functioning as you're expecting it to function with the game, because you're expecting to be pedaling and producing speed, and that's not currently happening. And then you're like, was it going to work once we start going? And so I definitely can relate to that there's kind of this thing in the back of your head that, like, once I start producing power, is this going to do what it's supposed to? And there are plenty of times, especially in the TTT. Go ahead and see how the times are starting to come on through. At the 8 kilometer mark, there's a 12:52 for Coalition Amalthea right now. They're going to be chased by Sticky Buns, maybe a no-show. I'm looking forward. And that we did have a few no-shows. So I think that's what's going on there. Earlier when we saw nobody leaving the pens, I believe the timestamps then for the riders to go out, Coalition were the first ones to take off, actually. And I think Sticky Buns just said, not today. Sisu Racing Unelma with going to be the next ones out there. And they are going to be the team that did recruit Anna Russell, but they are losing time to the coalition. Interesting enough, we'll see if they can bring back some negative splits out here today, as they do have the Russell factor hanging out with them. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 riders currently. Do they have everyone they started with? They started with 6. They do. And Camp now making her way to the front for this new Sisu racing team. Let's see if we can bring in some information, as they always do a great job of checking in with us. The first women's team for this Finnish, as in the country, inspired team that is Sisu, is Unelma. It means dream. It is Finnish for dream. Obviously, we had said Anna Russell is racing for them. The concept of Sisu, we're being told, is that the Finnish concept referred to extraordinary determination, courage, resoluteness in the face of extreme adversity. And I would say that this course out here today kind of suits that quite a bit when it comes to extreme adversity, because what you're taking on right from the get-go on the reverse of UCI and the 23rd Street Libby Hill, and then right on into the Governor Street that they just got done with, and then on over into a sufferfest of cobbles and flats as you look to hang on and recover from what you're going to do again in just a moment. It's this concept that unites them and is the spirit of the team, we're being told. They now have 250 members from 50 countries. Absolutely awesome. Each team time trial names are happy and cute Finnish words. How does it? How do we define if they're cute? I just want to know. And I'm just messing with you guys. So I mean, is it like? Is there like a scale of cuteness that we have here on how cute the names are? They have 20 plus ZRL teams that are all named after Finnish birds, as will be flying, and that's coming in from Matt Jan. He is the director over there at Sisu Racing. Appreciate all of the effort that you put in with 50 different countries represented and 250 members. You can see some of that right now in front of you on screen across all of these teams, or excuse me, all of these riders right now. How well they do represent multinationalism for sure. They're in with the Vienna Frappes. And as I look here, these riders are all very new to team time trialing, actually. I'm just going to go right on through it here and name them. Coming out of the US of A, Andrea Miller. She is the most experienced, besides, of course, Anna Russell, when it comes to team time trialing. Now, Anna Russell, though, has done a lot of team time trials, but WTRL... Okay, wait a second here. Help me out, Martin. Martin, I'm just going to bring... Well, Martin walked away from the keyboard. I just went to go look at the video, and he's not sitting at the keyboard. I was going to bring him in, actually, to be like, what is going on with Anna Russell's team time trials? Because Anna Russell has done plenty of team time trials, obviously in the Zwift Racing League. But when it comes to WTRL TTTs, she has 4, not including today. Who would have thought? Like, I should have told chat to guess. How many do you think she has? Because how does Anna Russell have 4 TTTs for WTRL? What is even going on here? I feel like I've been scammed by the whiteboard. Like, what? Oh, man. All right. Daz, I'm with you on that as well. We've got to pick this apart, especially after this revelation, Daz Carter. It does look like BL13 is in the house. If you don't know BL13, well, you've just met it, because Daz Carter is here. He's shown up on the day. And this is not going to be Anna, actually, but here we go. Chat, have at it. What is going on? Is this a new DT Swiss? No, she just is coloring them different. What are these? She put on the Adidas. She put on the Adidas shoes, the Adidas shoes specifically for us today because she knew I would point that out. You know she knew I would point out that she's wearing Adidas out here today. As she would say, Adidas. She's got the awesome chapter bike here, as you can see. Chapter out there as well. Anna's pro TTer regardless of the numbers Matthew Gartner's let us know. Right? I mean, she's the TTer in the ethereal. She doesn't even have to do them. And it's just magic. Just like the magic eraser on the whiteboard that erased all of her actual TTTs, perhaps. As the comments are rolling in on this one. What a revelation that Anna Russell we're here is in with only her 5th ever. Matt, we appreciate the comment coming on through here. And Sisu Racing letting us know cute names as decided by the people of Finland. And I appreciate the scale that we're being given there, but I haven't really been given anything empirical there. It feels like Sisu Racing, as well as Cassie Webster coming on in, giving a big good luck to the Galaxy Supernova Velocity as well as Supernova Surge in the Vienna Lattes. We'll see if we can get across them. Well, at least get the times up on screen for you for them as well. Thanks for jumping in the broadcast, Cassie, and cheering on your team out here today. All right, Russell. I don't know. I got to give this is a pretty, okay, so obviously she's got the team kit here going on, right? Which Sisu has chosen. It's not an official in-game kit, but really well done. This is Fashion Police time. But amazing job, I've got to say, is that going to be kind of off turquoise? No. That has like a name. What is the name of that color? It starts with a P, doesn't it? I can never remember the name of this color. Puce? Sounds like puke. Anyway, that's how Anna feels right now, most likely, on the front of this right now. Hannes W saying, almost Nathan better than Anna's pronunciation. For sure. Thank you very much, Hannes, over at the chat on YouTube. I appreciate that very much. And we'll see if everybody else agrees with you, though. As the American way to say it is just kind of where I default, though, Adidas. But I know that the history, as well as even the founders, think I'm completely wrong. And so now, as we go across here for the Asiman, I just want to say you're not helping yourself. I'm just gonna say that you're not actually helping yourself. like it's kind of like punching somebody in the face to get to get something nice. You know, I'm just gonna say it. I appreciate you guys, and we'll get there. There's another lap to go, and we definitely are waiting for some times to come in as we do. So. Miller here, though. Let's go ahead and we had some fun with the. We had some great fun here with the Fashion Police. Let's go ahead and take a look here at the rest of the Unelma there, as we've got Anna Russell, Andrea Miller, Brenda Merritt, Deidre Ray Maloney, Gabby Eddy, as well as Heather Camp and Joyce Chiang there across for this Sisu team. Zed Sun will be the next out here for Pluto at 13:57. The fourth to go out on course here. And holding out pretty well, but it looks like Soxrolat's Odd Sox really walking away with this one a little bit. Coalition Alamalthea 12:52. Trying to hold on to the time and close things down, but I think Soxrolat's Odd Sox going to do what they usually do. 22 seconds back is going to be B2B at a 13:31. Team Italy Pink Ladies there at a 14:33, really struggling to hold on to any kind of contention for a top 6 here at this place. B2B here now. Only 4 riders show up on the day, so they are doing a really good job, I have to say, for the number of riders that they did show up with. Zed's son, as we passed by them real quickly, let's go ahead and just have a look. It's going to be Cookie here, making her way to the front. And I believe that's going to be Claire Cook with the nickname Cookie in game. As she pushes her way to the front there, 163 watts now, bumping up to 225 as she takes her pole. Claire Cook riding out of the, well, it says her country is Ukraine, but I have a feeling that that's just the flag in game for solidarity. I'm not incorrect because I am seeing, I think that's going to be Great Britain that she is representing in, is that going to be Commonwealth perhaps or something along those lines in her Zwift power profile. Done plenty. Actually, this is the main thing that she does all the way back to December. This is the only race, actually, that Claire Cook is up to for the last couple of months. So very committed rider when it comes to the team time trial. Great to see for this Zed Sun team. Sierra O'Neill as well. A little bit newer to the world of TTT is going to be Iris Pasarad. She's got 3 down, and this is going to be her 4th on the day. And as we wait for Zwift Power to open up, get some more information on the rider here for Zed Sun. Level 32 Zwifter. Looks like maybe a little bit newer to the world of racing out on Zwift. Only jumping in to racing on Zwift back on October 16th of 2021. So very, very new to the world of Zwift racing. Big welcome to this rider from Zed Sun Pluto in with the Vienna Frappes right now. Joanna Savenstedt is there as well. Coming out of Sweden at the back end of this group of 4. Lenny here pushing on for B2B. 1331 currently. Go ahead and move our way backwards, though, as we do jump in with Team Vegan Gazelles. And they are having quite the ride this week, actually. Good on the Vegan Gazelles. 1301 currently right now. They were the 6th to go out. We'll see if they can better their competition. Team Italy, I think, just really on a struggle because they were actually the 3rd fastest team coming into the day. So wonder if perhaps with only 4 riders, maybe a little bit of a struggle with only 4 riders. Maybe they had to wait for a rider. That's probably what it is. I would be really surprised if it wasn't that because they started with 4, one rider maybe struggled with a dropout or something, and for them to get a time, they had to wait. Now, they're such a fast team, though. I wonder if their next splits, if they brought it back, got everybody back together. I'm actually going to go and find them out on course here in just a minute and see if there is something along those lines where they're trying to bring back some insane negative splits, perhaps. This is all guesswork at this point, all conjecture, but if Team Italy Pink Ladies had one rider with a disconnect or one rider who couldn't get off the start line and are chasing now at this point to bring back time and still maybe be able to get into that top 5, would be interesting to see, or perhaps it's just a rough day for them out there today. We'll have to wait and see, though, in just a moment here. Gazelles, though, come on through. Waiting for their time. They were 1301, a little ways back. From the, well, quite a ways back, excuse me, from the Sox Watts Odd Sox as well as Coalition. They're about 9 seconds so to Coalition Amathea. We'll see if they were able to bring back any of that time. They do have a solid team still all together here, and they will gain some time on these downhills if they can really punch up over the top of those climbs that will be coming in. Getting into the super tuck, there's going to be Secret there. Geddes as well, doing a nice job of super tucking. All on the Trons, loving the setup here. Green, pink, and a little bit of blue. Nice little kick coming through from Secret. She knows what she's doing as she gets into almost 70 kilometers per hour onto this downhill. The punch through, and as you see the Trons light right on up, you know the Watts are back on. They should be coming through with their time in just a moment as they do bring him in at the 16-kilometer mark. And we're seeing here Hannah saying, sure thing, Nathan, and thanks for trying to pronounce the riders' names correctly. That's a nice way of saying you've almost got it. I love it, Hannes. I absolutely love it. And loving the commentary coming on through as well from Lone Palm. Appreciate that. Hannes, go get it. Go get your warm-up done. And good luck on your team time trial out there today. day as the times are starting to roll in. What I am looking to see if we've got any new records just being set today. It does look like in the espresso, Smurfs have done an amazing job with some new course records. We'll take a look and see if they just hold down as the next zones do start getting out on course. It does look like the Vegan Gazelles, though, that we are looking at right now, did upset Sisu Racing Unelma just a moment ago with a 25 flat here. They're chasing down Coalition Almathea here, 24.47. But Coalition have opened up the gap a little bit more. It was 9 seconds at the last checkpoint. It now has opened up to another 4 seconds to 13 between them. And they are starting to make some catches out here as well. So the Gazelles perhaps with a really solid second lap. Perhaps they were holding off just a tad with some of this extra energy. Going to throw it all down into this last few kilometers. Well, half a lap or so, a little more than a few kilometers. Sox Watts Odd Sox are chasing them, though. And they are 48 seconds back, as you can see. They did have one team between them. That was the Team Italy team, but Team Italy were off the back. Now, this is going to be Team Italy. They've got 3 riders, as you can see. They started with 4. I have a feeling this has everything to do with the times that we are seeing from them. It's a rough day for Team Italy, and I want to give them a huge shout out for sticking to it, getting the workout in, and showing up on the day. This is going to be Lucia Lisco, who has actually they're newer. A lot of these riders are very new to the world of team time trialing, actually, except for Elvira Wilhelm, who has 45 team time trials underneath her belt. Actually, the rest of the riders from Team Italy actually only have 3, and I believe it looks like from what's on screen here, it is going to be Cynthia Serencina, who had perhaps a dropout or a no-show or something come up, not sure. She's a level 35 Zwifter, and it looks like has plenty of not team time trials, but been racing since last year actually since 2 years back in 2020. But maybe a little bit of a struggle of getting onto the platform today. Fabia Maramati out here. Level 14 Zwifter, newer to the world, very new actually to the world of Zwift racing. Back on October 29th of 2021 was her first race ride out on Zwift. She did do the Zwift Racing League, though, this year in Season 2. Great to see. And competed all the way up until March 1st, it looks like, in the Zwift Racing League. Really jumping into the world of Zwift racing, Fabia, with level 14 currently. Being only level 14, it looks like she's just really into racing. And that's about all she's doing. I mean, it looks like that's really cool to see. And I mean, if you want a testament to how Zwift Racing can get somebody on the platform, all I'm seeing for results here in a lot of her rides being level 14 is Zwift Racing League, Iceni Women's Series, and the WTRL Team Time Trial. So talk about a rider who's just really committed to the motivation that women's racing is bringing here. Is going to be Fabia Maramati. Very cool to see here. And big shout out to this team for sticking it out here and making it happen. It looks like Fabia here now pushing the front 4.8 watts per kilogram from her right now as she goes up the reverse of that 23rd Street. Lucia Lisco, another rider. She may actually be Batman in another life, as she has a Batman. If you check her Zwift power profile out, it's absolutely great. Loving it. Level 24 Zwifter. She's got 18 races, and another rider who just jumped into Zwift Racing League, and probably this is all she's really doing much on Zwift as well. And obviously, the Italians, when it comes to racing, it is a motivation. But Wilhelm, maybe the recruitment here for the team with some strong riders is biting her a little bit. It looks like as she goes over the top of the reverse 23rd, she's going to get back on terms in just a moment here, as the new blood on her team is pushing the pace here for Team Italy. Let me see if they can get some better splits coming on in. It does look like they've closed down a little bit of time here to Zed Sun Pluto, or at least kept it steady And we'll see if they can maybe better that 7th to a 6th. It'd be great on there if they can. Losing one rider, they still will get a time starting over with 4. I believe they're able to lose that one, especially if there was a dropout or something along those lines. Cassie Baldy, though, at the back of the Sox Watts Odd Sox is the situation currently, as you can see. S. Child is there as well as Pai. This is one of the strongest teams in the world of Zwift, and this is going to be Rachel Elliott. They've got some heavy, heavy hitters. Rachel most likely having to hold back a little bit on the day at 129 beats per minute. Rachel most likely, if she wanted to, could just start rolling away. So she's going to be the power circuit, most likely on the flatter sections of the course as she pushes into 5+ watts per kilogram at 55 kilometers per hour to the front right now. And no wonder this team is dominating when you show up with that kind of power. Looking over here, it looks like Sisu raced like a girl with the no-show out here today. So it's going to be Ray Vaughn, currently sitting in 4th in the Vienna Espressos. It's going to be Wahoo Lacole Etoiles, BBB, and TSC Cinnamon Rolls, opening up the door for the Cinnamon Rolls a little bit, and BBB to have a little bit of a competition between them. We'll see if we can jump across and catch some of the action for the battles that are happening in with those ladies in the Vienna Espressos. Well, if we can get across there, we will do so as quickly as we possibly can. But we are going to jump in, though, firstly with the lattes. I do know we have a couple of viewers hanging out here waiting for some of the hype around the Vienna lattes. Those are the times, though, that we do have on board here for the Vienna Espressos. In with the lattes, Galaxy Supernova Velocity. We saw Katie and hyping them up. Well, they're having a solid ride as usual. They're 25:46 at the 16-kilometer mark. ElectricSpirit.co, Cosmonauts there. They got a 26:59. Galaxy Supernova Surge at 27:02. Rave Against the Machine, 27:12. WTRL Cycling Pirates that we're looking at on screen right now. They've got a 27:43. Hertzford Triathlon Club Vixens, 27:49 at the front. For WTRL right now, it's going to be Sweden there at 183 beats per minute as they do the reverse of the Governor Street climb, just finishing that out, and it's going to flatten out here in just a moment. Lewis trying to hold on out of Spain, not going to do so, going backwards quickly to those 3 as they look to try and chase down this rider from Sweden with a crazy power surge. Might not be helping them the best at this point with that surge unless they can cross the chasm. Looks like they're going to do so. And the Cycling Pirates, did they catch the WCC Infernos? I believe they did. So they are having a good day. WCC Infernos, I'm not seeing a time in for them at this point. We'll wait and see if it does update in a second. As it looks like Dan Ferguson, Gretel Pinel's, Helen Farthing, Christine Nikita's, Lisa Armistead, Louise Gloyn, and Nikki Lloyd were all caught, perhaps? Or maybe went out on a different timing schedule than I was aware of here. But this is going to be the Pirates we're looking at. I'm believing is going to be Malin van Wout here for the Cycling Pirate. She's got a solid 31 TTTs underneath her belt. It's going to be Eleonora Lana, I believe, has been dropped so far, as this team started with 6, and they only have 4 left. So they've really made some sacrifices out here so far. Today, as we jump in with Hageling, this is going to be Allie Hageling. Amongst this crew, she is the least experienced, but she's more experienced than Anna Russell. She's got 9 Ts. This will be her 10th coming out of the United States. Giovanna Fantuzio there out there for Galaxy. Giving a little bit of thanks. Most likely they were catching some riders. Usually that's what's happening with that. But Allie here has 22 races. She did race in the North Division 2 for the EMEA in the Zwift Racing League for WTRL. Good to see. And Allie looks like just getting into the world of Zwift racing out of the United States in the last 3 months or so. Level 17 Zwifter has a pretty solid setup here for level 17 with the Trek Imanda, as you can see. For the Cycling Pirates, it looks like M is saying, forget it, I'm gone. They're going to have to really work together here to make this catch. A little bit of upset to the functionality of the team. Hertford Triathlon Club Vixens may be able to take advantage of this and bring back that 6th to 5th place that we're looking at currently out on screen. It's going to be, I wonder if HTC, see if we can look through here. The Vixens 130 back. So it looks like the Vixens are bringing back some time on this WTRL cycling. Pirates. The Pirates really going to have to do some work, I think, to hold that off and not end up in a 6th place overall at this point. Lewis now trying to bring these 3 back to M's wheel. She's going to do just that. They're at 37 kilometers per hour on that Tron bike. This is going to be Nicole Lewis, 22 TTTs, a little bit of experience for her. And it looks like she is a level 30 Zwifter coming out of Spain. Got a solid 3.6 watt per kilogram, 20 minutes. She's been racing out on Zwift since September of 2021. And her first race ever was the WTRL Team Time Trial Vienna Platinum League, actually. So cool to see. And no wonder, being a part of WTRL and a WTRL team, very easy way to just jump in and get familiar with a crew that knows exactly what they are doing. The last rider to highlight here that has made the fold of the main 4 is going to be Eleonora Lana. I think one of the leaders amongst them here with the 43, level 32. Oh, she's got quite the description actually over on Zwift Power. Hi, I'm Eleonora. I'm Italian. I like cycling. I discovered for a chance. And late in my life and started with very few rides in Barcelona. Huge cycling fans. Loved watching the Giro d'Italia. And used to train 4 times on average per week. I think she's way over that now at this point. And she's been out on the platform, it looks like. First race she ever did was the Movistar Team Innsbruck UCI Worlds ride, actually, with Alejandro Valverde back on April 18th of 2020. Took a 4-month break and then jumped right on into the EVR Summer Series, actually taking 2nd overall way back on August 29th of 2020. Now a big part, it looks like, of this WTRL team. And a little bit more information coming on through here from Martin. And we may have I'm going to leave that one alone. There was some interesting stuff about a Colombian cyclist, Miguel Angel Lopez. I'm not sure if Miguel was actually out here with us today. He was. That'd be really interesting. The Superman of cycling out of Colombia. Is he racing the TTT today? Riding for Astana, Movistar in the past as well. I think that's who we were looking at just a little bit earlier out on course, but we'll have to wait and see if we can get confirmation of that. We were just talking about this team just a moment ago. This is going to be that WCC team. We'll see if we can get their times up on board in just a moment here. But HTC Vixens now, they are battling it out with the team we were just looking at. But at a 42.35, it's going to be tough. 24 kilometers in. Now at 26, they've got to round out the rest of the flatter part of the course in just a moment in this Vienna Lattes. At 42.35, struggle is on, but they can close down, especially in these Vienna Latte and Mocha crews. You know, bringing back times later in the race sometimes can happen. So we'll have to wait and see what happens here. Galaxy, though, is this going to be Supernova, or are we looking at, I believe this is going to be Velocity. Supernova Velocity or Surge. I'm going to figure that out in just a second. As we're looking at Vason. And this is going to be actually Velocity that we are looking at. And Femke Vason coming through with her 13th team time trial. Giovanna is here as well. We've been in with this crew quite a lot the last couple of months. They have been dominating the Vienna Lattes, 39-14. It looks like they are not going to stop their dominating streak, as they have caught their sister team, the Surge, it looks like, I believe, as this is going to be Tiffany Pazula, Sarah Leonard, as well as Renee Wilson, Mendrisky, Maz Heffron, Luis Munier, and Karen Livermore, as well as Joe Dennis, Jill Sargentson. They have dropped a few of these riders, though, obviously, as they are catching some of the Rave team that has been dropped as well. It's going to be Sherrington coming out of New Zealand. Good ride to her. And definitely want to highlight the Rave team as well. They're having a good ride. They're currently in fourth place at 41.16, but not a force to be reckoned with when it comes to the Galaxy team. The rest of the Galaxy team a little ways behind. That did get dropped off, but they put their work in and are going to say goodbye to the rest of the ladies. ElectricSpirit.co in second place right now, trying to hold off the Surge. The race is close still, but I have a feeling they've closed down a good amount of time as they can see the Surge just ahead by 19 seconds. So good job to ElectricSpirit.co as Coat comes on through. This is the Cosmonaut team. And this is going to be Andrian Coat. Newer rider to the team will be Charlie Stair. No, excuse me. Charlie Stair is very experienced, actually, with 23 2TDs. Excuse me. It's going to be Jana Holzer, who's a little bit newer to this, coming out of Germany, as well as Rachel Maxwell there. Suzanne Monkhouse, too, a little bit newer to the scene. So good job on them as they hold down second place within the Vienna Lattes. On over, this is always one of our most attended when it comes to the WTRL TTT. It's always amazing to me how well attended this crew is. We'll see if we can get a crossover to them and the rest of the ladies in with the Vienna crew. This is going to be loading for us in just a second, but Zedsun Hydras with one of their riders that is just getting dropped off as the Zedsun team and the Hydras look to finish out the final climb they have out here today. Just making it happen is Bick, as well as Sandra, Karen, and the Owls chasing them, though. The Faster After 60 crew really trying to turn the afterburners on over that climb. Zedsun Hydra holding them off, it looks like. We'll go through from the front to the back, though, here, instead of starting from the middle. They just helped us get a crossover to the category. Appreciate them for that, but it's going to be KVG Pink here. And wow, what a ride here from KVG Pink. They went out. Is this right? They were the first to go out. They're holding currently in sixth place overall at 44.25, maybe liking the climbs out here. Kay Smith, solid 2.6 watts per kilogram coming from her. Interesting wheel selection. Maybe was concerned about the climbs. It's going to be a Tron bike here for Fugard and O'Mahony, all coming out of the UK. Only 3 riders, it looks like, here for KVG Pink. This is what they started with. So good on them for, again, another team that showed up with not quite the numbers, but we're able to put in the workout here today. And Smith, solid 115 RPMs. Nice job on Smith. And something to really be proud of out here today with only 3 riders. And if they're able to hold on to a 6th overall, that would be absolutely phenomenal. They do have the Kirchmer Team Bs, who tend to be an insanely fast team. Probably going to unseat them to 7th. I mean, it's almost undeniable that that's most likely going to happen. So Mahoney, it's going to be Susan O'Mahony here. She's got 25 WTRLs under her belt. Nice job to her, as she's one of the most experienced out here. It's also going to be Helene Fugard. She's the most experienced on the team that we were just looking at. And then Kate Smith. Sarah Waywell, I think, maybe not able to make the start line out there today, a no-show, but a shout-out to her. She was signed out for the team. The team had to settle for 3 out here today, though, as they make the turnaround after the sprint point, and it's on to the last section of cobbles and just a few K to go to round out the 32-kilometer total on this UCI reverse. Let's go ahead and move our way through the rest of the Viennas. Where are the Rockies is what I'm wondering, because I'm not seeing the Rockies in between. They actually were caught by the Electrons. Nice job to the Art Electrons. The Art Electrons are having a crazy fast ride, it feels like. They are 41-16. And we just called it out here. What a ride from the Art Electrons. Catching a lot of the teams out here today. It's going to be Claire Jackson, Joe Hussey. It's going to be Karen Watson, Kath Tompkinson, Sarah Sare, and Yumi Hill. Very international team here that we're looking at right now as Claire leads them out. Lots of riders left here. 6 in total. They started with 6, so they've kept it all together. Nice job to them on that. Very experienced team, as you can see. 51 for Joe Hussey here when it comes to number of TTTs. Kath Tompkinson there at 63 total, and Sarah Sari there at 62 total TTTs. So obviously, very, very committed group of ladies here to the world of Zwift racing. And a big shout out to the ART team and all the social posts that they do. We do notice them, especially over on Twitter. So thanks for that. Yumi Hill coming out of the East here with Japan at 172 beats per minute currently right now. Can they hold on to the top? Because the Kirchner Team Bs tend to be the fastest of the fast on this crew. As you can see, they were the last to go out, and they usually can defend that title in with the Viennas. But are they going to be able to do so out here today? Because right now, that's a solid 17-ish second gap. I'm not sure that's coming back. As we go back to the Rockies, though. Faded a little bit, it looks like, for the Rockies, but they did show up, it looks like, with a solid 4 riders. So signups are showing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they are missing 3 that were signed up from what they currently have out here today. Only 4 riders crossed the line at the start that were picked up. So it looks like it is going to be a little bit of a struggle for them out here today. Most likely why they're sitting a little bit lower down on the board. But will they hold on to their second fastest? That's what they were coming into the day. Looks like the WCC Infernos maybe get the better of them, but it is a close race. There's only 5 seconds between themselves and the Infernos. So this is a battle to be playing out here. And that's one of the fun things about the WTRL TTT is we have these little battles week in and week out between some of these teams that kind of can mark each other as, ooh, this team, they tend to give us a little bit of a struggle to get the win. They tend to take away from our ability to get higher up on the leaderboard. Let's battle it out with them. Let's see if we can better our time against that team. And you always kind of find that team out there that can be the one that is sharpening you week in and week out to try and make you better and faster. So it's good to watch this play out in front of our eyes right now between the Rockies and the Infernos. We'll see how it plays out once we get into the results, but it is only 5 seconds. And the Rockies here with Deb on the front, 2.6 currently, trying to bring back as much as they possibly can at 144 beats per minute right now. I'm wondering here, as we move on through, this guest rider from the Gen 2s, actually. Same across, though, with the teams. It's just the birds, different penguins, essentially. This is going to be Evo. Always good to see Evo and the Meteors. As we jump in with Bival Upton. It's going to be Kirby there as well. And you can't miss Evo, because they always have the bright magenta kits. Nice little beautiful setup here coming from N. I believe this is going to be Nicola Pengley, if I'm not incorrect. She's done a great job with her fashion, it looks like. I'm even loving the Bontraggers with the pink. I mean, what? I mean, this has got to be a setup that she was just hoping would hit the broadcast with how well she has put this together. Matching upon matching upon matching. And she knows how to suit the black to that magenta/pink color here. Well done. I've got to say, this wins the day for me, 100%, when it comes to Fashion Police. I hope I'm correct on who I'm looking at here. Nicola Pengley, level 28 Zwifter out of the United Kingdom. It is, I'm almost absolutely positive, 104 races from her. And winning on the Fashion Police out here today. Great job. And Nicola, how many 54 TTTs. Another, and as I was saying, this is one of the most committed crews when it comes to the team time trial amongst the all of the categories. The Vienna in with the ladies always makes it quite the race and shows up with a lot of consistency. Great job on them. The rest of the team from Evo: Jess Upton, Sarah Kirby, Tracy Eldridge Jones is out here, as well as Anne Charlotte Bival that we were just looking at out of Sweden. And they are currently holding down, it looks like, a sixth place at that 44.11. They're kind of leading the charge in that 44, sixth through ninth place or so here right now. So great job to them. I think they're going to hold on to that. Get a little bit upset, though, perhaps, because they were fourth. Oh, maybe not upset. I think they're going to hold on to their spot from last week. Excuse me. They're the fourth to go out, which means they were the sixth fastest, most likely. So great job on them. Atom Racing Team versus Team Electrons is quite the interesting battle, though, for me, because that Team Bees has always been so unstoppable. So I want to just say great job to Team Electrons today. Can't say it enough, really, and how surprised I am at how they're able to take down the Team Bees in KC, because that KC team just tends to be unstoppable in and amongst here. So move our way backwards just a little bit. This is going to be ZR Scott Aria. And we're going to have Jamie Blythe, well-known name, Allison Hume, Anna Dericourt, as well as Claire Taylor. Joe Connell is out here. We've only got 4 riders, though, so I'm naming a few that you're not going to see on screen because I have a feeling they sacrificed a few of them early on in the climbs in order to get the time that they currently have right now. This is Claire Taylor we're looking at right now. Coming on through, it is going to be Jay Kettle. Actually, 0 watts per kilogram from her, so maybe it was accidentally hitting the front. That's Jennifer Kettle rolling through at 139 watts or so. And then it's going to be Roger right now taking on the front of the pack. That's Rachel Roger. Kind of bunched up a little bit. There's maybe a little bit of confusion about whose turn it is or what kind of watts they're trying to pull on through. Jamie Blythe now makes her way to the front, coming out of Scotland. Solid ride here. 169 beats per minute. That's 39 kilometers per hour. They're just trying to hold off the Vertislow team that's chasing them down right now. Or did they make the catch? That'd be the other question. Did they make the catch on Vertislow? No, I actually have a feeling that what happened here is they are going to be caught perhaps 7 seconds back or so. As Vertislow Pink are having a solid ride. They started a little ways back from them, and I think they caught Zed Sun Hydra and a few others. So big ride here coming from Vertislow as ZR Scott looked to try and hold them off. Vertislow Pink at a 42.01. ZR Scott Aria there at a 47.04. So good job to Zed Scott Aria. ZR Scott Aria as they make their way to the line. Almost there. Nice job, ladies. Vertislow, next one's out on course here. It's going to be Beat Robosi Valpetic Zedov. I'm going to try this one. Sabasek and Fagnell probably came nowhere close to all of them. I might have missed one as well out there. We'll see if I can. We'll go back through the list here in just a second. But the ladies from Vertislow making their way 5.1 watts per kilogram currently for the final sprint to this line. Great job to these ladies, and as they are currently at that last checkpoint, I believe at a 42.01, right up there in like 3rd place, I believe, maybe 4th place. So them and the Owls, 1 second difference between them and the Owls. Amazing ride here from Vertislow. Darsa Vabtek, Yolanda Blokar. It's going to be Mirzam Biat Liban. It's going to be Motka Faginel. Neza Ribos, Petra Sebasek, and Tanya Zedov all to the line here. Great ride from them. Next, it's going to be our Faster After 60 crew. Great job to them as they come on through. Nice little kick here. 5.6 out of New Zealand from Pam. It's going to be Elaine, Maria, Catherine, Elaine, Cindy, Becky, and Wendy just holding on with one of the coolest kits in game. Wendy's going to help us out to give us a look at it here real quick as the rest of the ladies come across the line. Great job to them, and always love them for all the support that they give to the broadcast, as well as the week in and week out showing up for the WTRL. This is going to be Zed's son, the next one across from that Hydra team we highlighted earlier. Great job to them. And last, but of course, not even close to least, it is Kirchmer. Great to see them do what they do, but I'm not sure they're going to pull it off this week. It's Andrea Cote, Anna Sigo, Janine Kirstein, Katya Giles, and Marianne Betschart crossed the line. Kept it together as 5. Maybe not the winning time, though, this week, as I think Adam Racing Team really were able to pull off something special out there today. Plenty of ladies to highlight. And one thing I definitely, especially with the International Women's Month, the reality of Zwift Racing and everything that it's done for women's cycling, the support that Zwift is putting out there for all of the in real life pro events, as well as the growth in the community at every level of riding and racing for women. You can see it right there, what we just saw within the Vienna class. Absolutely awesome to see. And that's really where the growth matters, in my opinion. 100%. Lone Palm saying that you love that pink Trek setup with the Bontraegers. I mean, with the little bit of pink between the rim and the tire there was just money. I mean, absolutely amazing, actually, there. Meint Martin van der Straaf is wondering, why do some riders not still have a heart rate monitor? I don't know. If you want to ship them one, they might give you their address. I'm not positive, but if you got some free heart rate monitors to send across, you might be able to help them with that solution. Appreciate the comment there, Mainte. I can't answer that question, but if you want to answer that question for them, they would probably appreciate it a ton. As we wait for our results to come on in here, I don't know if we still got Mr. Martin hanging out here. We do. He's probably typing all kinds of things to me at this moment. All right. Thanks, Martin. I'm not sure I'm going to even talk about that. We're just going to leave that one alone. So, it's not even worth the conversation. All right. Next up before we head on over to results, they should be coming in here pretty soon. For the broadcast, we are going to be on break for a week. Just so everybody knows, we will have no broadcasts all the way up until TTT number 154. So just as a heads up to everybody, no broadcasts until the Thursday of Team Time Trial number 154. I will be scheduling that very quickly here. So if you're wondering where the broadcast goes, they're coming back. We're just getting set up and refreshed and a little bit of time off. If you haven't noticed, we've been here for TTTs all the way since before the pandemic, actually, before 2020. And we've been here, obviously, all the Zwift Racing Leagues. So first time in a long time, we're actually taking an extended break. Just as a heads up to everybody, if you're wondering where ZCL has went, we're still around. We're around. We're just going to be just watch all of our socials for a lot of posts, probably of in real life biking for just a little bit. And then we'll be back for obviously Zwift Racing League kicking off the week after the TTT number 154. Let's go ahead and take a look though at the results as they look to be coming right on in. In with first the Dopios. Well, so far for today, it is going to be Cyrus No Pins in with the Dopios there out of zone 3 with the 41.52 Eat Dirt. And then Mutant next. Mutant, I really wanted to see you out there today. Tried getting across. Hopefully we can get across maybe in number 154 and get some highlights of the images of you. But at a 42.15, nice ride. Not too far off the fastest of the fastest in the world. And then it is going to be in with the Espressos. Smurf Straight Espresso do what they do, and they take it down at the top, and they got a new course record for Espressos. With that, out of the Platinum League, Valkins Hell come on through on a zone 8 with the 42.37. PTZ Aquabar. Nice job to them, and thanks a lot for all the information you sent across from PTZ with the 42.45. It's going to be HDR Cheesecake Crew just barely getting edged out there by PTZ. It's going to be Dirt Time Chaser Zeta all out of the PL. This was quite the battle between those three for 4th, 5th, and 3rd. Down in Dirty Vipers there, 43.27, zone 8. HISP there, Espresso there, 43.29 and 7th. Dirt Diggler in 8th, they held on out of zone 3 or a top 10 still. We'll see if they can hold on for the rest of the day as you keep on checking WTRL.racing I don't know how often you should refresh it. Martin might get mad, but he keep hitting the refresh button to know. As Tutti Frutti come on through there out of Platinum League as well in 9th. It's going to be Eat Dirt 007 sniping in for 10th. On over to the Frappe. Schmurz Spray again there, and with the Frappe, it refreshes itself every few minutes. Martin's letting us know. Thanks, Martin. You don't have to hit the refresh button. It'll refresh itself. Don't. As we don't need to shut down their website here. 44.39 there in first. It's going to be ZR Scott Kelpies there for 45.05 in second there. Adam Racing Team Atomic in zone 10 already coming in. Wow, that's fast. For third place, Vrtislo Siddhartha for fourth place. It's going to be Vikings Yomangirar out of the Platinum League in fifth. Garage Pain Chasers still got to let me know if they're all in garages and throw us some pictures up. Let us know if that's fake news or not, but it's going to be Platinum League for them in sixth. It's going to be Vikings Valgrind out of zone 10 in seventh. Second Power Race Team, great to see them. I think also a Danish team if I'm not incorrect. They're in eighth. WLBB, Frappe in ninth, and Skibid Zedson Saturn coming on in for 10th place out of zone 3. Vikings Valhalla versus ATP Racing Nitrogen and the Woolly Rhinos. Well, Valhalla, they didn't even make it a conversation. Almost a full minute ahead. Solid ride there for them. Climbing boys, they would be for sure. They're ATP Racing Nitrogen for second, and Woolly Rhinos, they're all the way back by almost a minute. So Vikings Valhalla really walking away today. It's going to be the Destroyers of Cookies there coming on through for ODZ in fourth. Cryogen Emos in fifth. Vikings Mjolnir in sixth. Dirt Time Chases Megas keeping it Mega Man in seventh. There's going to be NZ Bro Mutton Birds in eighth. Vikings Yurgisel in ninth. And TTT Snack Snake in for 10th. That's got to be like, I don't know, that's an interesting name. We're going to leave that one alone. TFC Hurricane in 53.43. Smart Riders second for the Rhinos. They're in for second. In the Mochas there. Swedish Swift Racers there in third. It's going to be Adam Racing Team Krypton fourth. Tugas Pampilho in fifth. PT1 Gluconat sixth. Dead Sun Nebula in seventh. HISP Mocha in eighth. And Gulf in ninth. And Cryogen Snowgeeth, they round out your top 10 currently. All mainly Platinum League. Great job to those Mochas. On over to the ladies. And with the ladies, TSZ Cinnamon Rolls, they pull it off today with the Sisu Race Like a Girl taking the week off. They're able to beat out the Cheese Rollers for second place. BBB for third. Wahoo Lacole Etoiles in fourth. And Ravon, they are your top 5 with a 50-25 in the Vanna Espresso. Sock Schwartz crush it. And, oh man, I mean, they did what we expected there. With Rachel Elliott on the team, it's going to be hard not to take that down for the Platinum League here. It's going to be in the Vienna Frappe's Crush Pod out of Zone 10 with the 49.40. WTRL What's Up on Fire out of Zone 11. Nice job to them in for third. Coalition Omnithea, they hold on with a 50 minutes flat in fourth, but get beat out by Zone 10 and 11. It's going to be NZ Bro Pavlovas, and then Sisu Racing Unelma with their debut with a top 10 in sixth place at 50-25. The Anna Russell Factor, playing all right, it looks like. I have to do something about those Adidas, maybe slowing them down a tad. Just kidding, Anna. Vegan Gazelles there in seventh. Sock Schwartz Watnots in eighth. Crush Pod Spice Frappe in ninth. And B2B in 10th place. Coming out of Zone, well, Platinum League, excuse me, with 4 riders. Nice job to B2B. Galaxy Supernova, they've been the velocity. They have been the unstoppable recently, and they do it again. 45 seconds up. But NZ Bro Ghost Chups playing a better card this week than maybe a couple weeks prior, and they hold on for second. Electric Spirit.co Cosmonaut for third. Rave Against the Machine hold it down in for fourth. HDR Crank Crushers in fifth. Renegade in sixth. Galaxy Supernova Surge hold on for seventh. ZR Scott Alba for eighth. WTRL Cycling Pirates, they fall back to ninth place, but hold on ahead of Herthford Triathlon Club Vixens for 10th. A few in the Platinum League slipping out of that top 10, as you can see in the Vienna Lattes. We'll see if they can make it back a couple weeks from now. And then last but not least, it is going to be Zone 10, the Cortada Crush Pod. Nice job to them, as we thought it was Adam Racing Team Electrons. But as you can see, we've got lots of zones throughout the day for some upsets, even after Platinum League. Nice job to Cortada. 11 seconds back, it's going to be Electrons. Kirchmer, Team B's hold on for third, but really get beat out from what they usually can throw down. So great job to both Cortada and Adam Racing Team. Owl with one of their best ever results. Great job to them. Fourth place, Vertislow Pink there for fifth. It's going to be Ed Zend Bro. Pie Sandwiches in sixth. Zed Sun Hydra, Team BPC for seventh and eighth. It's going to be Evo Meteors in ninth. And as the Fashion Police gave them the award today from my whiteboard, it's going to be definitely Evo Meteors with that magenta out there. WCC Infernos, they hold on for 10th. And let's do a quick little refresh here and see what we've got for next week. This will not be broadcasted, everybody, but you will be out on the Innsbruck ring. Oh, I'm missing a good one. The Leg Snapper, this is, whew. Well, maybe we'll get, I'll see. Maybe we'll get somebody to broadcast it, because I don't know if we can miss that one. We'll see if perhaps, well, Nathan is gone, but most likely no broadcast, and number 154 will be the next everybody. But be on the watch out. Be on the watch out. See, that's a good one. That's a really good horse, actually, in my opinion. One nice little punch in the middle of everything, and then just nothing but flat. I really like that course when it comes to circuit racing, actually. It'll be really interesting to see how it plays out when it comes to a TTT. Really, the Leg Snapper, just a solid orange number punch or a little less than that over the top. Gain some speed, how well your team can rotate through on the downhill and then just hammer it for that flat and a false flat on the bridge. Great actual course, actually. And I'd love to see what the selections are when it comes to the bikes. I would assume something that is pure TTT, fast, slippery through the wind, and not so much a climber, but perhaps a couple of riders out there really just trying to hang on the climb. Well, that's it for us, everybody, here for number 152. There's still some racing to go throughout the day. They're going to be racing all the way until 9 p.m.-ish Central Time for me, actually, today, all the way through the rest of the zones. So you can keep on checking WTRL.racing for whether or not your team holds on to the places that we just saw. If you haven't done so, everybody, make sure to hit those follow buttons, subscribe, comment, and like. It helps the channels a ton. We're live on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, as well as Twitter. Everybody, a little bit of break here for Nathan, so we'll see you guys in about 2 weeks, guys and gals, in about 2 weeks. Make sure to be signing up for your ZRL season as quickly as you possibly can. Registration is open, but it's not going to stay open forever. And as always, everybody, thanks for hanging out, and ride on.